Welcome back to Silver Tears Tarot, and welcome to the general reading for August. So it's hard to believe we're already in August. It's been a whirlwind of a year, and these last few weeks have really just been wild. It seems like we get in and we do these readings at the beginning of the month and kind of look at the big picture, and they're stunning, they're surprising. There's these amazing things that are, oh, we're going to focus on these amazing things, and I always kind of wonder, I wonder how true that's going to be. And I have not been disappointed here these last few months. I would definitely say we've made good on our need to really just find some new answers and to reestablish that healing path, even if it's really kind of intense. We're going to take a look at the big picture for July, or I'm sorry, for August, and it's going to be general, and we'll then take a look we'll zoom in on the soulmates piece tomorrow. But be aware that we may have some soulmates pieces come out here in one of these general readings. So this is going to be general reading for this collective, which means it won't necessarily resonate with everybody. But that it does have, if it is very connected to the rest of the messages. So if you find that this is your reading, you may want to subscribe and check out some of the other messages. So we're going to jump in and start with that energy. And instead of doing the emotional and energetic backdrop for today or for a narrow piece of time, we're going to look at this overarching energy of the month and what you need to know about the energy and the energetic and emotional backdrop for this month. For the upcoming August. And we've got a full moon that's coming up tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm going to do the soulmate reading, and then I'm going to push the full moon reading to the next day. But with it being full moon energy, that's going to be fine. Okay, let's see. We've got Two of Pentacles in today's energy. So this is it reminds me of like something that is round. You drop a lid on the floor and it kind of settles, and it gets to where it gets to where it's starting to settle. That's almost what this looks like here. It also looks a little bit like a Mobius strip. But it's really got a lot. It's not a Mobius strip because it's not twisted properly. But it's got that feeling of something coming to rest, something that's coming to be in a different place. Okay, so that's good to know. There's definitely some change that we've been watching, and for something to actually land somewhere during August, I think would be interesting. We've got the Queen of Wands. So it's like there's a sprint towards something and an ankle gets broken with this Queen of Wands. But it doesn't mean that you don't still get to the finish line. It more means that there's a different sort of look in the finish line, different sort of idea of what might be ideal. We've got this Ten of Swords. There is pain falling away almost unbelievably across the course of August. So pain that you thought might never start to feel better starts to feel better during the month of August, along with these things coming to rest. We have the Star. This is pretty fortuitous energy, guys. This is absolutely not in reverse. It's got all of its energy in the upright, and it feels very much like connecting with your destiny, whatever that means for you. And yet, this situation that you may be experiencing with a soulmate, so most of you are here for the soulmate readings, and just know that we are going to look at the big picture and that soulmates will come into that. Here they are. So we've got the soulmates here, but feeling like there's something that gets in the way of this union a little bit. So I feel like that's partially because of some of the changes that are still falling into place. We do have, this is a change that has fallen into place though. This is the Hanged Man. And it's a new perspective having been gained, but not in this sense, not necessarily knowing what to do about it. So it also has a little bit of a sense of something that still hangs in the balance and a decision that hasn't been made. But we know that there are a lot of decisions out there that are pretty critical for us right now. So that's going to be, if you're in a soulmate situation, that's going to be on that side. We also have critical decisions that are happening for you about how you're going to go forward with your growth and your development, and what you're going to I want to say what you're going to open yourself up for and what you're not, but that's like I'm skipping a step. It's like there's something that you have to let end, or you have to make end in order for you to be able to open it up for you to have or do something new. So it's not so much are you going to have or do something new. It's are you going to do that middle step that requires something to change for you that feels pretty uncomfortable. Okay, what have we got here? I feel like I just kind of dropped the cards everywhere. But I want to make sure that we get out all the ones that need to be. So there is energy coming out of like somewhere else. So a different aspect of your life suddenly requires a different level of attention this month. This is going to be a month where something new is coming out for you. Not necessarily saying it's bad, just, it's a parent who needs some assistance, or it's a child who needs some assistance, or it's a friend who needs some assistance, or it's another team at work that's having, they're shorthanded and they need something. There's somebody that needs something and you're going to get involved. That's kind of one of the things that I'm seeing here. And it will take some of your energy during the month of August, but it will replenish far more than that and set you on a course for this quest that we know has been very relevant for you, and that is going to help you to balance your feminine energy. So we've got the Empress and we've got the Eight of Cups. And with the Eight of Cups, this is about that quest that you guys have been trying to more or less go on. It's just making sure that you can fine tune what it is that you truly want. And this is that quest that allows you to do that. Those of you who have been dealing with a soulmate will know that there's been a lot of this quest that hasn't quite been working out very well for them, because they have a tendency to stop on the quest or not go on the quest or resist elements of it. But it's going to dramatically improve the balance of that feminine energy, and that's going to make a big difference for you. Let's see, anything else need to come out here for this? And feminine energy is useful in more than just soulmate situations. It's all things nurturing, all things, everything that you would think of as Mother Earth is going to be associated with that Empress. But also with all of the other elements. I don't mean for it to just be an earthy element. So this Nine of Pentacles was thinking about coming out, but I wasn't sure. And so I went ahead and I have this thing where I trust the universe to bring it back out if it needs to come back out. And here it is. Again, with that tone of, here you go, not a darn it, you didn't listen to me kind of tone. And I really appreciate it. I've said it before, and I'm sure I'll say it again, but that is makes me feel even better about the way that these readings feel like they come out, because they feel pretty clear to me. But this is me saying, if I'm not clear, how do we resolve that? And the universe has got my back. So Nine of Pentacles in the reverse is telling us that there is going to be an element of feeling like you are having a setback. Some kind of an emotional setback that makes you feel like you're not quite together. It is temporary. I don't know that it spans the entire month, but I think it has to do with this person who needs you, and you start to see yourself in a slightly different light. But again, not necessarily a bad thing. So then let's take a look at what you need to know across the month of August, just in general. And so this could be anything at this point. This is just what is coming out in the month of August that you need to be aware of, that my viewers need to know. And, oh, sweet. This is resistance falling back. And this is resistance falling back not just in you, but in others as well. So you will meet with less resistance in some areas where you've seen some pretty significant resistance in the past. Doesn't have to be that soulmate relationship, but it could be. That's one where a place where some of you have been meeting with less resistance, and maybe they've even been reaching out to you. But there's also this sense of this happening more broadly. So you're just standing at the store or something, and people are much more able to get involved in a conversation with you. They're more easygoing. So I'll tell you that one time I was standing at the Department of Motor Vehicles, and it was a really long line, and there were a lot of us there. And I made a joke about I was standing there reading a book, And this guy wouldn't stop talking to me. And then the person standing on the other side starts talking to me. And I was like, you know what? There's just something about today that is more fun than it's more fun. Like it's social fun. I love reading this book. I love reading a book, and that's why I brought it to stand in the line. But these people clearly needed something different, and so I made a joke about leading the entire line in a rousing group of row or a rousing canon of row, row, row your boat. And he thought it was funny. And the person on the other side of me thought it was funny. And someone else heard him. And so we kind of just separated everybody into three parts and had a big rousing canon of row, row, row your boat. And I got to direct the whole thing, and it's that kind of energy. I'm not saying you're going to have people singing at the Department of Motor Vehicles, although I don't know that I could ever do that again if I tried. But there's that kind of energy. There's that kind of feeling to it. You have the Five of Wands in reverse. It's that very go with the flow sort of feeling, but it's more than that. It's getting everybody in the entire place to sing along. It's getting all of that effort going in the same direction. So the Five of Wands, when you look at it, there's a lot of struggle, and part of it has to do with the fact that they're not all kind of going in the same direction. They end up fighting each other. If they were all to be pushing everything in the same direction, then all of a sudden they'd have a lot more strength, the power of being together, the power of doing it together. But with this awesome perspective that we have on the Five of Cups, this is, again, that sense of being able to see the negative, being able to see the things that make you sad, but also being able to see the possibility in things that could be very positive, the possibilities that are out there. Even in the face of seeing the negativity, it is a much more balanced way to look at things than either just everything being very negative or everything being very positive. Here with the Seven of Pentacles, we've got so it's the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. It feels like there's something here where you're going to feel like you're not able to give something as much attention as you need to, but it's because you're jumping into something else. And I feel like it has to do with this situation that needs assistance or help over here. No, these don't go with, I don't think they go with the reading. If they're going to, they will pop back out for me. And I have total faith in that. I just love that. I think I mentioned it for the first time in a reading not too long ago. And I was just very pleased. I was just very pleased as I realized, I too am constantly learning and just realizing, hey, this is a feeling of increased trust between me and the universe, me and my higher power. It's a pretty exciting feeling. And I feel like I want to share it with you when it happens, because it's something that is very, it's relevant to what the types of things that this collective is experiencing. But yet here we have the Seven of Wands in reverse and the Ten of Wands in the upright. So there's something that kind of gets to be a little bit too heavy here. And it has to do with, like I said, this other assistance that is needed, a person that needs help. You jump in, you're unable to invest in something else. So it's really about not having the ability to cover all the bases and feeling a little bit overloaded. So there's a feeling of a bit of burnout here. Your best bet is going to be to find out what you're truly responsible for and what you can truly impact, and put your energy in those directions. Maybe not spend quite as much time on other things, because that feeling is coming out pretty strongly, that there's definitely that feeling of just burnout, carrying too heavy of a load, So that beware of that for August, because that's one of those things that the impact of it can be long lasting. It's tough to get out from under burnout sometimes when it took you a long time to get there. Sometimes it also takes you a little bit of time to get away from it. That's not supposed to turn over. Oh, let's see. I know there's more cards because I don't have the feeling that I need to stop shuffling yet. Oh, what was this? Okay, we have the Hierophant that has come out in the reverse. This card actually fell face down, but it wanted to be used, so I turned it over, and here it is. The Hierophant in reverse is all about not following instructions that you're receiving, or not being able to truly receive those instructions and interpret them. So it's not so much, hey, I refuse to do what I'm told or what I'm being given as gifts of intuition, intuitive pops. It's more a matter of not being sure what to do with it and maybe making some mistakes. So this is really what you want. The Five of Swords in the reverse is the ability not to throw good energy after bad. It's the tendency to be able to to pick the right battles when you've got a whole bunch of battles facing you. To be able to pick the ideal ones that are gonna make the most benefit for everybody. There is definitely some association between this Hierophant energy and this Five of Swords energy for you. Let's see what else is coming out here. I thought I was done shuffling because I've been getting that here lately. Oh, you've only done a few, but it's time to stop. Not yet. Oh, well, we want this one, and we want it to turn over this way. So we have the Four of Pentacles. Okay, it's go time for healing for you. There is something during this month in August that you're going to be learning to let go of, learning to negotiate a little bit differently, a path you're learning to negotiate differently that involves you being less attached to the outcome of that path. Yeah, that's probably the best way that I can describe that. Let's look to see what you need to focus on, given this energy of what's coming and what kind of energy that you have. And we don't really know what's coming. We have some ideas based on the energies that show themselves here, but really there's a lot that you can impact and other people will also impact with their free will. So whereas we see that third party, and this is like third party energy for you, where it's like energy that comes from outside and needs your assistance, but it's exactly like that. It's energy that impacts your overall life, throws the balance off somewhere else. There's something else you're not going to be able to address because of it, and that's kind of where some of that burnout feeling comes from. But that's, I don't know, I guess it's good to know that that's coming, rather than to be surprised by it. I feel like you're going to be in an okay position to manage this if you're aware of it, so that when you see it, you're able to say, okay, I recognize this for what it is and I want to be careful about it. Because you've got the Magician energy here. And I say because I feel like it fits really well with what you're going to be able to do. If you're able to be conscious about what's happening here, I think with this Magician energy, you're going to be able to do what you need to do in this energy, which is significant because you've got somebody else that needs your help. You've got some other things that are kind of coming out and going on. Let's see what we've got here. We've got a lack of balance, so maybe a change, or maybe something that hasn't quite settled with regard to a household, possibly your household, possibly more related to whatever's happening with this other person over here that needs some help. And you're going to feel a little pulled on in a way that you've grown past. So maybe, and I don't know that it is this person, but maybe somebody is wanting to use you beyond what you're wanting to accept being used. There's a little bit of that kind of feeling happening here, but I feel like you're going to know it and you're going to be able to do something about it. But you've got to make sure that you're able to back up and take a look at the big picture. That's an important piece here. Back up and take a look at the big picture, and then also to be able to partner. It's going to be important to be able to partner, not necessarily with anyone in particular, but just in general, being able to create a partnership, to have a good conversation. Being able to partner was part of, even with a large number of people, was how I was able to get all those people to sing that song. The good news is, you pick something that they know. So you do something that they are able to do. You put that partnership within reach. That's partially what you have to do in order to be a good partner and to open yourself up as a good partner. But it does require turning this King of Swords up into the upright, because what we've got here, we have a situation where there is an application for that logical mind, but there's a lot of navigating with emotions. So you may want to actually step back and say, all right, hold on, let's take a look at this and kind of put that in the mix with the emotions. At no point would I say to take your emotions out of the game and just use your head. I would say that there are situations where it makes sense to include the thoughts and the logical side. So I just threw some more cards off the table, and one of them was the King of Wands. We're gonna use the King of Wands and the Death card. What about this one? Oh, and the Tower card. Okay, so the Death card and the Tower card, they just they didn't come out for you earlier, but I was talking about them over here because these feel like they're here and they've been coming out for you. Basically, these are that change that needs to happen. You're still being kind of pushed by the universe to make it happen, but you've got all of the ability to make it happen here. With this King of Wands, that's the ability to step back or I'm sorry, that's the King of Swords that I was looking at. Is that ability to step back and look at the big picture, make a good determination about how to move forward. What should that strategy look like? The King of Wands then has the ability to really just take it home. That's a King of Wands, Queen of Wands sort of feeling. And so keep in mind that you've got this Queen of Wands where you're on some path and it's like you twist an ankle, you break an ankle or something that does get kind of stopped here. And that's also partially why it feels like there's this sense of overload. But you're going to be okay. Just know on the front end, you're going to be okay. You'll be even better if you're able to allow this thing that needs to go away to go away. That will improve your situation even more. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, so we have the Hermit card in the reverse. And it's a feeling of not needing or needing a little bit more wisdom than maybe what you have. So you've gone off into your thinking cave. You've come up with some new wisdom, but you've also come back with some kind of intrusive thoughts that don't seem like they want to go away. So this is a matter of you being able to remove those intrusive thoughts from your experience somewhat. And I don't know if it's a full removal, but definitely it's a matter of not having to bow to kowtow to them so much. It's just a really difficult, it's a difficult energy to kind of distance yourself from. It's not really distance, it's kind of disconnecting yourself from allowing yourself to be controlled by it. But with this Death card and this Tower card, you're avoiding a change that is going to make that a little easier for you. It's in your grasp though, and that's what we were seeing up here. It's in your grasp, but it might still be pretty uncomfortable just because it's uncomfortable at first. It's a shift that you're able to kind of master and get better with, but at this point it's not necessarily something you're looking forward to. So let's get you an oracle card. You've got change coming across August. You are supremely capable of handling it. You've got that ability to make people sing in the DMV. That kind of, it's almost charisma, but it's just a delightful partnering energy. So you've got the Fortitude card here that has come out. Oops, too many that I turned over. It's the Lady's Mantle card. So this is a cool deck because it shows you a bunch of different plants and different herbs. It's an herbology deck, but not all of them are herbs. So we've got Lady's Mantle here, and this one's about fortitude. It's about guts. It's about having the guts to do what you've got to do. This energy of the King of Wands over here is going to more than give you the power to go forward, but you're going to have to unlock it with that King of Swords hanging out over there in the reverse, and that Queen of Cups with somebody kind of wanting to hang on you a little too much, sort of wanting to hang on your energy a little bit too much. So you've got this fortitude. It's incredible strength, and it's like internal strength. This is something that is really going to show up for you this month. So not that you want to allow yourself to be overloaded by too much, but you're totally going to be able to handle what happens, and it looks like you're even going to be able to be graceful about it. So this part is really for you. This is for on the inside, what you would be thinking. This is more what your interaction with the rest of the world will look like. So this part is going to be a lot more graceful. This part may feel a little more uncomfortable, but you have some decisions to make, and they're not easy decisions. So as you move through that, you're going to be in a better position to kind of see where you come out there. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this reading for now. I think tomorrow we do the soulmate version, and then so we'll zoom in on the soulmate situation, and then the day after that, we will take a look at this full moon that's coming. So It's always interesting to see what kind of impact the full moon has on the overall big picture, and it never fails to be something significant for us. And that's another reason why I have the selenite moon back there, because the moon is a significant piece for me in the astrology, even though, like I said, I often say you don't see much astrology on this channel. So like I said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up, but thanks so much for being here with me, and I look forward to seeing you for the deep dive into the soulmates tomorrow.